Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we will be looking at a series between Acer Nerchio and Sahara Satiini. This is going to be a Terran versus Zerg, Satiini versus Nerchio, starting off here on the map Shakuras Plateau. And let us begin the game, as always, with some player information. Starting over here in the lower left-hand spawn position, our red Zerg player is Acer's Nerchio. Nerchio took third place at the Twitch TV European Invitational in December of 2011, and also in December of 2011, he took first place at the Scan Invitational 2. His opponent over here in the upper right-hand spawn position, our yellow Terran player, is Sahara's Satiini, and yes, I know that says Sati. Just not enough nameplates. Just not enough spaces there in the name to actually fully type out Satiini, but that is Satiini. And now let's get his information, shall we, instead of my rambling. He took third place at the StarCraft 2 two-year birthday cup in April of 2012, and in March of 2012, he took first place at the Autocraft Grand Slam 2. And that is the recent player information. It looks like we'll be seeing a frontal wall off here from Satiini as he first places that supply depot and then waits until he gets the 150 and places down that barracks there out front. And the next thing, of course, we look for is the gas timing. Back over here for Nerchio, nothing quite as of yet, working his way up to that 14-15 supply mark, so we should be seeing a pool or hatchery sometime soon. We do have a scouting drone moving out and a second drone moving down, so this should be for the hatchery, and there it is. We will be seeing Nerchio go hatch first here. We'll be following that up with a pool, I'm assuming once he gets that next 200 minerals. Drone moving to the cross-positional upper right-hand spawn location. And you can see the Overlord scouting the lower right-hand position. So now Nerchio knows Satiini is in the upper right because a near spawn location is not possible. So it is impossible for Satiini to be here on this map, given that Nerchio is in this location. All right, drone now moving up into the main. It gets past the frontal wall as there's no second supply depot. Now checking for gas, and he will be spotting none, which of course is going to imply now that there is a 1-Rax expand coming. The other possibility is a proxy Rax. You can see he actually scouted earlier this corner over here and has the Overlord moving into that position to check for that. And he also pushed to the edge here to see if there was another Rax building elsewhere. But no, it is not a 2-Rax pressure push here from Satiini. It is in fact a 1 barracks into expand, and actually coming down with the double refineries immediately. So this is going to imply that Satiini will be teching up after this rather than going for, a lot of times you'll see that 1 Rax, command center, and then 2 more Rax come down and then the refineries. But those refineries first mean Satiini will be teching very hard very early. Back over here for Nerchio, hatchery is done. SCV scout making its way into the main. Now you can see that the extractor there just popped. Satiini didn't see that that has just finished, so he actually doesn't know how long the extractor has been there for. So it doesn't really have any indication as to when metabolic boost will be coming, although he did see that it wasn't researching right now, so at least he knows it is going to be a little while longer. 2 queens building here for Nerchio. Also the first set of lings coming on through. Will just be the 2 zerglings for now, and that is it. With that, expect him to probably just try to grab the towers and not much else. Back over here for Satiini, we do have a factory building now. Again, he went for those really early double refineries there. The 2 zerglings making their way across the map. Satiini's expansion now done. That will be turned into an orbital command pretty much immediately. And then we have that bunker up for some early game defenses. He's a little bit concerned about not being able to get a full wall off in time, so just coming out with a little bit of static defense there with that bunker filled with Marines. That'll be pretty effective. Lots of coverage there, extra range, of course, for the Marines inside of the bunker. So he should be all set, especially against unupgraded Zerglings early on. Metabolic boost now started researching. We do have an SCV actually checking the 3rd position, wants to see if Nerchio is going to attempt to try to grab an expansion over here. However, he is met by a Zergling, needs to pull away. There we go, just barely making it back. And I think it's going to be close actually. He might end up losing it here. The Zergling continues the top pursuit. This is pretty tense right now. Oh, never mind, just pulls back. I was really hoping that he kept going. I was super excited to get into that there. All right, metabolic boost, a near finish here for Nerchio. 4 more Zerglings coming out. Also another Overlord and some more extractor action. And look at this. Stepped away for a moment, but we have got a starport with a tech lab building on that Rax, and that should be switched. There it is. Oh my gosh. So here we go, opening up with some Hellions. Let's take a look at this. Of course, I'm going to expect Banshees. Will it be Cloak? Yes, it will. Cloaked Banshee opening here from Satiini, starting off with these Hellions. This is going to let him get map control. Although, actually, now that these Speedlings are in play, these few amount of Hellions may be in trouble. Hey, needs some micro around. Zergling's trying to get that surround, having a hard time, though, and Satiini with a little bit of micro, able to sneak away. That was really, really good, actually, there for Satiini, because that could have been much worse. And I, truthfully, fully expected him to lose at least one of those Hellions, but managing to hold on there. He has now started that Banshee production, the first one halfway through now. Racks being placed on that reactor. The factory has been lifted off and repositioned. Is he going to continue to build out of that, though? Looks like nothing yet. 4 Hellions now in the center of the map. That would have been much more difficult for that small amount of Lings to deal with. We do have a transition into Roaches here. Also double evolution chamber, so Nerchio will be working up into those upgrades. A third base now placed down over here. And actually a Queen going into that position to get ready to inject some larvae. Hellion's able to scout this out, and we'll be able to do a bit of damage to the Queen. Don't think he'll kill it, though. Now that the Roaches are coming down, that is going to force that back. First, a Banshee making its way across the map now. Cloak research just about finished. Another Banshee in production. Also stim pack research. Level 1 missile attacks coming through here for Nerchio, and it's going to be a problem. Banshee taking out the Queen. They'll start to work there on the drone count. Actually just going straight for the Spore Crawlers, trying to prevent those from getting into play. Not going to be able to do it that in time, though. He's going to get a kill or two, and then needs to piece out of there before that finishes. Pull back. There you go, just barely makes it back in time. Of course, I say just barely. I'm assuming Satiini knew exactly the millisecond that he had to leave. I will not deny him that. Roaches maintaining map control right now for Nerchio. Layer now just finishing. Let's see what he does with this. Roach speed, Spire. What's the plan here, Nerchio? What's the next step? Infestation pit, all sorts of possibilities. Really excited to see what he decides to do. Still nothing, though. Still absolutely nothing. Banshee will be taking map control now. That is the second Banshee. The first Banshee is over here. That one already has 4 kills. Places the Cloak down. However, an Overseer threatening to make things a little more difficult there for those Banshees. Oh, that Banshee. Wow, 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 wow. Very, very close to losing that Banshee. Very close indeed. Does he just have the 2? Yes, just the 2. Still has the tech lab on the starport. Hasn't switched that out yet. Also, stim pack research about finished. Still have those Hellions in play, making a transition into now Marine Tank, kind of the more standard composition. Another reactor also coming through on that barracks over there. And there we go. Finally, we're seeing an infestation pit, also a macro hatch. There's the infestation pit. There's the macro hatch for the extra larva. And the level 1 missile attack now just finished. Also, the Carapace level 1 coming through as well. What do we have over here? Scouting Zergling, checking the 3rd position, although an expansion over here is probably more likely for the Terran player. I'm not saying it's impossible that he would come out with an expansion in this position, but I expect to see an expo over here first, just because. Kind of easier for the Terran player to defend that. Now, I imagine something's going on, but actually it looks like there is nothing. Nothing going on. Both players just kind of macroing up. There we go. Finally now, Satiini is pushing out Marines, Hellions, Siege Tanks, and those 2 Banshees of his. Now also coming out with an armory. This will allow him to go into the level 2 upgrades. He's now finishing up those 1-1 upgrades. Getting map control here away from these Zerglings. A few Roaches pushing across, though. They need to be careful. Yeah, I was going to say, wow, that's definitely not something you want to walk into at all. Absolutely, positively not. Now, I would like to see some medevacs come on through here, of course, for Satiini. So hopefully we see a hot swap there. There we go. Starport now in the reactor, so we should be seeing some medevacs come through sometime in the not too distant future. Banshee's pushing forward, and with this actually also getting some scouting information, just doing a little bit of damage, getting some scouting done. This one now working its way into the main. Infestors now coming on through. Their research has finished, so this is going to allow them to fungal growth right away. The second that they pop, they're able to drop a fungal growth, obviously quite helpful. And a little bit of mobilization now for Nerchio as he is pushing towards the center of the map. Lots of Speedlings, Roaches, and the Infestors. And hopefully this Infestor gets off a fungal. There we go, gets off a couple of fungals before they die. Allowing him to much more easily take out those Marines. However, he is forced back for the rest of the Marines there. Managed to take out all the tanks. We get a reinforcement tank coming down. These roaches are in trouble. Looks like he will be losing those. Third base has been taken here by Satiini. We're going to saturate that right now. Also coming out with a missile turret. Would love to see a sensor tower as well. That'd be great. Although not quite as vital against, you know, the Speedling Roach. Well, against the Speedlings, it's certainly going to be effective. You'll see a lot of sensor towers when their mutas in play, just because they're so quick, so mobile. You know, it looks like there's a whole bunch of lag garbage right there. whenever there's a pause or something, and you see all that chat just pop up, that's why, because they paused the game, or there was lag, and then it just all populates at once on a replay. It's kind of humorous, actually. Look at these massive amounts of upgrades and unit production going on for both these players. Hive Tech Spire coming through. Carpus level 2. Melee attack level 2 as well. Also the Gloud Reconstitution, which is the Roach Speed. Lost something over there. I think it was a Banshee. Could have been a medevac, though. Here's a drop coming forward here for Satiini. Speaking of medevacs. Dropping now in the 4th base position. Speedlings and Roaches also moving now to the center of the map here for Nerchio, forced back from some tank fire. Looks like he's just going to circumvent those forces. Yeah, yes, no, maybe. Drop still has done nothing over here in this position. Not sure what Satiini is doing. Not sure if serious. What is he doing? You gonna do something with that, or are you just gonna chill? There we go, stimming up the Marines and now moving out. Takes out 1 queen, takes out 2 queens, and then works to do some economic damage. Moving forward. Forced back though as the Speedlings threaten to take out the rest of that force. So we'll just be lifting that off and saving it for another day. Why not? Why not just pull back with that and save it for another day? Hive Tech is finished now. Once that Spire finishes, let's see if we're going to get that Greater Spire right away. Yes, we do. Greater Spire now building, morphing. Once that is finished, we will be seeing those Broodlords. Satiini now moving to take a 4th over here. He has already cleared these rocks. Should be spotting that these rocks are getting worked down, so hopefully he brings something down to deal with that. There we go, just stimming up some Marines. He'll take care of that, no problemo. We also have a 5th base coming on forward over here for Nerchio, and he himself has also taken care of those rocks. Those Zerglings have been taken care of as well. And a planetary, which is of course a wise move in that position. Actually wouldn't have been surprised if he went planetary over here, but given his kind of forward stance, I think he felt like this was enough defense for that spot, so didn't necessarily need it. Medevac chilling out over here now. Another medevac moving into this position. That's why I keep checking these players' visions, because these drops can happen so quickly. Dropped on the low ground though. Another drop coming over here as he makes his way forward. Fungal growth on all the Marines. Lots of damage over there. Marines over in this position. Those Marines are still on the low ground, not doing much. With Stim Pack, it should be okay, but didn't do it. Continuing to creep forward over here. Satiini on the aggressive. Ooh, dropping a few, yeah. Oh, man. Infested Terrans forcing the tanks to splash against themselves. That is awful. Lost a few tanks there because of that. Another fungal taking out those Marines. These Marines still not in the right position. There we go, finally dropping over there. This Marine drop taken care of. Satiini continues to threaten at the front. Stim Marines now in the main, doing a bit of damage. Just get a fungal. A couple of Speedlings as well. Or just don't use your infestors. You know, whatever. Just do what you want, I don't care. Nerchio, yeah, just do that. That's fine. 1 tank here. That is really funny. Broodlords think it's equally as funny. They're laughing. Oh, haha, stupid tank. That's what they said. That's how they sound. Don't ask me why.
Ready for dust off.
More drops planned here for Satiini as he's lifting up. 2 full medevacs. Almost full. This one's missing a spot. Drop also coming over here. Oh, he's going to be pushing from so many spots. It's going to be very frustrating. This is so frustrating to deal with as a 3rd player. Consistent drops from your opponent. Couple of tanks and Marines. I think they are rallied over here because it makes no sense that they would be moving in this position. Yeah, that was a mistake. Another drop over here. Stimmed up Marines doing more economic damage. Marines and tanks taking out the rocks now. This is frustrating here for Nerchio. He's doing an okay job of dealing with this, but man, he's getting spread thin here. Take a look at this. He's lost 20 workers so far this game, now losing this expansion. And the big problem, of course, is sure, he's got forces, but they're so immobile. Look at those Brood Lords. Look how slow they are. Someone get them some upgrades or something. Blizzard, Brood Lord, speed upgrade in Heart of the Swarm. Yes, please. Thank you. I don't think it's necessary. I'm just saying things. All right, Vikings moving forward to try to counter those Brood Lords. They will be met by Corruptors. Corruptors very, very durable. Even takes the Marines a while to work through them. And now that all the Vikings have been taken care of, the Brood Lords with some fungal growth on the Marines. Doing work, son. Do work. That's right. Brood Lords, with the support of Corruptors and the fungal growth from those Infestors, so effective. 9 more Brood Lords being morphed in. Also 3 Corruptors coming forward. Let's take a look at the resources lost this game. I've not looked at that tab at all game, and I do not know why. They're about even in terms of resources lost. The problem here, of course, is that Satiini has managed to kill off 20 of Nerchio's workers, but that's not that many. It's not that many that I want to say that Nerchio is tremendously far behind. The major concern here so far is that, of course, Nerchio lost this expansion. He also has a medevac over here. Satiini could be dropping at any moment and sniping one of these 2 tech buildings. Stemmed up Marines will take that out quick, especially fully upgraded ones. There are 3-3 right now. Here comes the mass of Brood Lords. Now, there are some Thors in play, so he's got to make sure he's not clumped up like this when he walks into those Thors. Because that splash damage can be pretty devastating. Just look at the siege line, though, from the Brood Lords. They just do so much damage once they get in a safe, tucked-away position like they are now. There's still quite a few Vikings left in play, though, and I don't think there's enough anti-air at all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Doesn't have enough now to deal with the remainder of these Vikings. Oh, here we go. A few more Corruptors coming forward, and also the infested Terrans down over there taking a few palm shots, and he's still got quite a few. He's still got 9 in play. Also 12 Corruptors coming out to try to defend those. There's a lot of damage there in that engagement. They're about even. Satiini is slightly behind. He does still have this medevac over here. Really want to see that come into play. Look, drop that here, stim up, and take that out. You know how quick that those 3-3 Marines could drop that? Sure, there's only 6 of them, though, actually, so I guess that's not quite the same as a full medevac, but still, do something with it. Even just drop the spawning pool would be great. A lot of times in these, you work your way to the middle in the later stages of the game, like we are here, and the Zerg player at some point makes a heavy transition into Zerglings. So if you can take out that pool, you can delay that quite a bit, or make it prevent it completely, and until he finishes that next spawning pool, basically. So more and more Vikings coming out here for Satiini. We do have a few Speedlings going to be pushing up into that position. And that is actually going to be absolutely devastating. Oh, no, he's got Planetary. Yeah, that's not going to be so effective at all there for those Speedlings. Yeah, not so effective for those Speedlings. Why don't the Brood Lords move over there for us? Well, I don't think he wants to move too far away from the middle because he would be, of course, very concerned about a just straight-up counterattack from Satiini. If he was all the way north here in that 12 o'clock position, I think that would be kind of his major concern. Did see some Ghosts coming forward. Ghosts not nearly as effective in this matchup as they used to be. They were incredibly effective at sniping all of that high-end tech. Brood Lords, Infestors, Ultras, they used to be so effective at that. Not nearly as much so anymore, though. And so many Brood Lords in play, very quickly forcing the lift off with 16 Brood Lords. Speedlings, they're just going to forget the fact that there's a Planetary up here. They're just going for it. And they're going to get it. 3-3 upgrades, able to very quickly take out that Planetary. Nerchio is in a strong position right now, and we still have not seen this medevac come into play. I think Satiini may have forgotten about it. I'm really shocked. Now, we do have some nukes prepared here for Satiini. His cloak's about to drop, but let's see if he gets this nuke off, shall we? Just has the one Ghost now heading over here. Planetary's not yet done, so these Speedlings are going to do a bit of damage before that finishes. Here comes the nuke. It's going to kill off a few Overlords and do a bit of hatch damage, but that's about it. Speedlings did a bit of damage over there. Let's check the nuke, huh? Here it comes. Bam! Didn't even kill off all the Overlords. How sad is that? Oh well. Maybe go for some snipe action here or what? Is he even carrying it? He doesn't even have a gun. Hey, what are you doing without a gun? He's just going for a walk, that's all. He says, I don't need a gun. I just like walking around. That is a riot. Going for another nuke over here. Doesn't get it. This ghost is dead. Brew Lord's now pushing up into this position. Here come the ghost. These ones have guns, so they're all set. Oh man, the fungal growth, the mass amounts of damage from the Brew Lords and Corruptors dealing with those Vikings. Nerchio doing a lot of damage here. Satiini continuing to push though. He says he's not scared. He's going to continue to do what he can. And if he's got enough Vikings, he's going to start. Yeah, there are not enough Corruptors here, so actually those Brew Lords are in a lot of trouble. Once again in a situation where it's just barely left with enough anti-air. Infested Terrans, are they gonna save the day again? I don't know. I don't know about it this time. Doesn't look like they will. So, knowing that he's just going to lose the Brew Lords, he just turns around and says, you know what, I'll just do as much damage as I can with what I have. Takes out a Thor. Takes out pretty much all those Marines. Yeah, takes out almost everything over here, actually. So Nerchio once again doing what he can in that position. Now, huge problem right now for Satiini is that he does not have any mining going on at all. He's got this expansion now, but that's pretty much it. And Nerchio has got a pretty solid economy running. Let's take a look here. Look at that discrepancy. Ouch. That is not good at all, as Nerchio is able to quickly reinforce. Here are some fungals taking out the Marines. Satiini forced to call the GG. What a great game number 1 here between Nerchio and Satiini. Alright my friends, that does it here in this game number 1 between Nerchio and Satiini. We'll be moving on to game 2 in just a moment. Great job there by Nerchio, who was able to be so incredibly effective with the Brew Lords, Infestors, and Corruptors here in the late game. And was able to consistently take out expansion after expansion of Satiini and eventually force the GG. Once again, this was game number 1 in the series. We'll be moving on to game 2 in just a moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.